Wir sind schon so lange auf See. Ich halte es nicht mehr aus.
Just as I wanted to say hello, Mr. Sailor here interrupts me. Yes, we're doing U-boat again. And first of all, I hope the sound is better, that you can actually hear me talk. I played around with OBS a bit and I found a filter or a setting on the one filter for the audio to drown out the game audio when I speak. So we'll see how that goes. Um, cool. So it's in the middle of the day, and I'm on my way to Belfast. I had to drop off a spy around here somewhere, and now I have to create a diversion. And they've put the mission marker straight on the port. I don't know how close I'll actually have to go for that to trigger, but my mission is to travel to Belfast and be fodder, cannon fodder. But yeah, okay, cool. So I'm approaching underwater. I've been at it for a while. Because I'm on close to the shoreline, it's in real time, it's not on travel mode. So it's slow and it might take a while. Almost everyone's asleep. I've never gotten lost um, while in next to the shore or with airplanes or other ships in the vicinity. You know, when it slows down to real time. And I don't have a navigator, so I don't expect to. I'm going to keep them all asleep as far as possible to conserve their energy, but I will probably have to turn on the ventilation soon. You might also notice that I'm quite sick. I've got a very stuffy nose. I'll try to keep it in check. The snorting and sniffing and so on. Alright, well, seeing it there's not much going on, I'm quite surprised. I've got a Mr. Newman here on the hydrophones and there's nothing. He's not hearing anything. But yeah. Oh, also, this is preview 5, so the save games became incompatible from what we did before. This is a brand new start with the first mission, so no one's upgraded, and I don't have any special sub upgrades either. So sorry, on the side. So the last time I did this sort of thing, it was at Portsmouth, and I ran into some subnets, or torpedo nets. Okay, stop that quick. I just have to turn on the air, the ventilation there. Oops. Oh, I thought it was on the bottom. It gets quite shallow in the harbors. This one might actually be... I might have to park it and wait for dark so that I can go decks a wash. Look at this, wow. We'll see how it goes. Okay, you're quite tired, so you can go up to the deck periscope to keep watch.
Kapitän?
Mr. Boatswain,
Bestätigt.
switch on the ventilation for us. I've got another problem here. Because of the limited funds you start with when you create a new game,
Bestätigt.
you don't really have a lot of food, or available funds to buy a lot of food, because I buy a lot of torpedoes instead. So I'm pretty much on my last legs here. These numbers don't last very long. I think I heard... He didn't get up, did he?
Jawohl, Herr Kaloi.
engine.
Herr Kaloi?
The mechanic's getting a bit tired as well. Go to bed.
Herr Kaloi?
And you take over from him there. I remember when I first saw the Steam comments of this game, everyone was like, "Oh, this is not like Silent Hunter at all," and what's the point in what's the fun in just stacking food in the cupboard for the submariners? And I was like, okay, that can't be true. And I'm glad to report to you it's not like that at all. There is a lot to do here, managing the buoyancy, the air level, the officers' energy levels, and maintaining situational awareness between hydrophones, the attack periscope, when your decks are awash, when you're outside surfaced. It's a busy game for the most part. Now, for some reason, there's just nothing going on. I mean, this is World War II, and England had tons and tons of cargo coming in to maintain the war effort. This can't be. This is ghost town around here now. I'm sure we'll find something soon enough. It's a bit foggy. Doesn't say it. The graphics have changed a bit from preview 3 and 4. You'll remember in preview 4, at least in travel mode, the weather jumped and the lighting of the day of time. So what? The time of day jumped as the minutes progressed on travel mode. Here it's smooth again, and but I noticed the fading on the far edges there. It looks like fog, but it doesn't say it's foggy. I must say this has got such a good skybox compared to the old submarine games, Silent Hunter 3 and even 5. This has got a really good skybox. I'm drinking tea again as well, so bear with me. Okay, so the air quality is improving. So I'm not sure how this used to work. I have to go research this a bit, because they certainly didn't have CO2 scrubbers and that sort of thing. At least I don't think they did, but in this game you get these potassium absorbers, which you can put into the ventilation system here. So
Diese Routine bringt mich
thank you. Oh, the routine is so terrible. Oh, whatever. You can put them in here, and then that accelerates this air cleanup here tremendously. But these potassium absorbers are super expensive, and they are very rarely in port when you get there at the end of your mission. So I'm loath to use them, but I didn't know that they have, or I'm not aware of the fact that they had CO2 scrubbers to effectively recycle the air within the submarine. So I'm not sure if this works exactly like it did back in the day. Doesn't matter. Okay, cool. Let's move that on a bit. I just want to make sure that I switch that off before I accelerate the time, because otherwise the battery's going to drain significantly. That still does a minus 12 per minute.
Kapitän?
Mr. Boatswain. Chief Boatswain. Okay. Sure. There is no one here. So I watched a YouTube video um, 3 days ago from Doc M77 Delta Oscar Charlie. Um, what is M again? I can't remember what M is for. Anyway, Doc M77, and it tours that famous V2C submarine that's stationed somewhere in Germany, or not stationed, parked on this shore as a museum. It's about a 20-minute walkthrough of that, and it's super informative. Very similar to what this submarine looks like inside in the game, um, but not original. Obviously, they've painted it significantly to preserve it, and so everything's colorful and highlighted and so on, which is not wasn't the case obviously in real life. They didn't paint the springs of the diesel engine and the and the push rods and so on for real. But yeah, it's informative to at least get an understanding for really how claustrophobic it is. Looking through the sub here in this view, you don't really get a sense for how tight and tiny it was, and how narrow and short these bunks were. In this game, they lie flat on their backs, head feet on the other side. It looks like a normal bed. It just wasn't like that guy back there now. See, he's lying flat, and Doc M77 in his video, it makes it pretty damn clear that there is no way he'll be able to fit on that bunk in that position. So yeah, it's a great video, and it's interesting the similarities. Obviously, it's the same model submarine, but how similar and how accurate it is in this game. The balancing, the valve mechanisms here, and even this little cupboard with a stepped design, all of that is in that video. It's visible in that video. It was pretty fun to watch. Alright, I guess I'll creep a bit nearer. Air quality is deteriorating again. Okay, suddenly he wakes up with his... Okay, now something's jerking. I guess it's loading graphics or something. But I have to turn on the ventilation anyway. Okay, and that chief mechanic is getting tired. My batteries are lasting significantly longer than I expected. So that's interesting. Alright, you go rest for a while. You go back on the hydrophones. And Mr. Boatswain, please turn on the ventilation. So there is a VR game within that plays off within a submarine like this as well. I can't remember the name. It's on Steam. It doesn't look to have the same production quality, but it might be a good. Well, I don't know if it's a good reference for the claustrophobia and yeah, difficult living conditions that was on the submarine. But even these temperature, so if you see the video, these are temperature gauges for the 6 cylinders on each side of the engine here. Well, that's what the person in the video said, and the indicators, I can't remember what these are called for real. This one's green and that one's red for port and starboard side. That's all visible in that video. It's pretty funky. speaker sounder. I've used it quite a few times now. It's not like it was in Silent Hunter, where if you use it you hear the ping and then the whole world knows you're here, you know. Cue that meme of China, in whole of China knows. Um, it's not like that. I haven't experienced a situation where I alerted anybody to my presence or my location using this, and I've had to use it to make a decision on whether to park the sub if it was shallow enough not to exceed my maximum depth. So yeah, tiny little beds. And apparently these subs had a crew of 52. It's I don't know how you fit 52 people on these boats. It is not a lot of space for 52 people. If you just stand in a crowd of that size, it's pretty big and noisy, and yeah. Anyway, I am practically mowing the lawn here, scraping the bottom. If this was a Honda, the air is out, isn't it? I'm underwater. Right. Let's see what's going on here. It keeps on jerking when I put on the acceleration. See there? Nothing. Oh, maybe it is. No, it's moving. But it is on the ground. Look at that. Okay. I think what I'm going to have to do, it's not long until dark. I'm going to park it. Stop. Because this is not going to work. I have broken the bulkhead before in this game from hitting the bottom too quickly. Obviously this won't, but I'm scared of, you know, holes appearing in the hull. This game has surprised me with quite interesting and not random, but yeah, unexpected failures and breakages, and so I don't know if I want to take the chance. I guess I can see the harbor already. And if we park it here, we can just okay, so, oh, the ventilation is still on. See, that's what happens when you use time acceleration. So because it's May in the northern hemisphere, it's only going to get dark at like 11. Let's see. Ugh, trippy. The sun isn't even close to the horizon yet. Let's manage crew. Sorry. This one.
Kapitän?
Go back to bed. Put you on the attack periscope.
Herr Kaloy?
I've got no one on the engines. I don't need anyone on the engines. I'm not using them. Right. As you are. It's interesting how the sight circle, the visible circle, disappears when I put on. It's obviously as the waves are coming over the periscope. Okay, the air is now getting borderline. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so I've got some chimney smoke there by the looks of it, and there as well. Why haven't you reported any of that? Nothing on this side. Jose, there we go. New contact. Transport code. What is a transport code? Is it that? Ah. Okay. It's just the name of this group. I've never seen that group before, or this name before. Must be new in preview 5. So I guess let's go. There is the ventilation. Well, I'm on the bottom. I can't surface now though, with ships around me. I don't even know if there's an escort here.
Kapitän?
But this is
Herr Kaloy.
the problem. To get cash monies, I have to. There's another freighter. Oh, it doesn't say. Doesn't. Okay. I managed to send from under the water. Fun. And I can actually listen to the radio if it wasn't. I've done it before. If it wasn't an alarm. Okay, you can go on to the listening room now. Help me target some of these freighters. Wow, he's in really shallow water. He must be stuck. Yeah, no, not entirely. Not as much as me. The ship models look pretty good. And they break apart when you shoot them with a gun as well. The masts come off and these little dinghies fall off and all sorts of things happen to them. That's quite an angle. I wonder if that's a, a workable angle for the torpedo. Not even sure. Perhaps I should go a bit slower before I are not able to. I remember from Silent Hunter 3, you had to. The torpedo had a minimum arming distance of something like 200 meters or 250 meters. And there was a limit to the angle that you could shoot it at, obviously. It had its own little rudder that was set with the controls on the tube that was programmed. But only up to a certain angle. And okay, so now it accepted that I'm close enough to the harbor. That's really good, because I'm pretty far down this strait here, and maneuverability is limited. If a bunch of corvettes start coming out of here, I will have some problems. And I guess that's why they have these two freighters here for me. But my sub is gonna have to turn. I reckon I'm gonna have to put it in reverse and shoot the other way to get this baby to turn.
Kapitän?
I need more. What's the angle? It's a bit better. That's almost a 90-degree turn for the torpedo. It's not very good. Let's do that one so long while I wait for my alignment to be better. That's a big one. 4 grand. 30 grand. Sorry, 3 grand. I haven't seen an oil tanker and those sorts of things yet. Those were pretty big ships. God damn. I'm gonna mute so that I can blow my nose.
Mic off. Mic on.
Okay, so I just zeroed the rudder. The angle is pretty spot on, but I'm not even close to a shooting solution on that freighter. Maybe I can keep on turning actually, because they are crossing my bow slowly. They're only doing 10, but they are crossing my bow. I don't want to lose them. And to be honest, these are the only two moving things close to me. This guy isn't hearing anything else, so... You see, the solution doesn't calculate if you can't see it, and that's a problem. It's not even a rough sea. I don't understand what the problem is. Oh, it's about 2 meters deeper than it should be, isn't it? Yeah, it's coming up now. Alright, that's better. We can see the periscope again. I don't even know if you can see it. Well, it's gone now, but the quality of the YouTube video might be such that you can't see it. There it is. Anyway. Okay. 80% is pretty good. Let's go forward a bit faster. I wonder if this is programmed into this mission to reduce the quality of the visibility to such an extent to make it difficult. I mean, because I've never seen the sight radius so small with Capitan here on the attack periscope. It's ridiculous. And why? I'm looking behind me now. It should be here. Oh, there we go. That's one of them. That's the other one. Okay, it's getting a bit closer. Okay, well that's close enough.
Torpedo ausrichten.
I wonder if you can shoot when you can't see him. No, this is ridiculous. Let's just put it up at 6 meters or something. Okay.
Los! Moor 2, bewässern! Moor 2, Torpedokurs, Torpedo ausrichten.
Flood, you bastard.
Rohr 2, fertig.
Los!
Cool. Now I guess I can stop the boat.
Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag.
Schneller, schneller!
30 Sekunden.
Sn
Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg zum Ziel.
sneller, sneller to go quicker. But actually I'm going to 0.
20 Sekunden.
You, sir, should
10 Sekunden bis Einschlag. 20 Sekunden. Bewegung, los, schneller. Torpedoversager.
Oh, it was a dud. Which one was that?
Bis Einschlag. Treffer.
Rohr 3, bewässern.
Okay, sorry, it's this one, yeah.
Rohr 3 bewässert.
Los!
Okay, so that one sunk. Mission completed. Right. So that means I should leave.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag.
I would like to get
30 Sekunden.
another ship there. Perhaps I can just go deck Sawash quick.
Herr Kaloy.
Put you on the radio. Okay. Send.
Auf Seerohrtiefe gehen.
Back to periscope death. Come on, get that conning tower down, sir. Where is that torpedo now?
Kapitän.
Get some help. He loads very slowly if he doesn't have 2 crewmen assigned. He missed it. Okay, hang on.
Rohr 2 geladen.
Rohr
damn
4,
it.
bewässern. Rohr 4.
What's my angle? That's not too bad.
Rohr 4 fertig.
Los!
Well, I might be stressing over nothing. I don't see anything else approaching.
10 Sekunden bis Einschlag. Treffer.
Okay. Minimal damage?
Schwere Schäden am Rumpf.
Serious damage?
Geladen.
Rohr 1, bewässern.
Rohr 1 bewässert.
Is it actually going to sink or stabilize? Come on. Look at that.
Los!
40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag.
Sometimes it's actually worth it to just do 2 torpedoes at a time. But then, if you miss, both typically miss, and
20 Sekunden.
poor Loris here has to
Rohr 3 geladen.
work his ass off loading torpedoes so that you get another chance.
10 Sekunden bis Einschlag. Torpedoversager.
Ja,
Rohr 2, bewässern.
Rohr 3 bewässert.
Los!
40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag.
interesting. See if we can see the torpedo. In Silent Hunter, sometimes the torpedoes would remain next to the ship after they were duds. They wouldn't. The graphics engine wouldn't get rid of them. It was funny. Oh, this is almost like a naval blockade now. Oof. Okay, that one's a goner. Let's go. Sometimes it allows you to send and okay. Yeah. That's good money, 25 grand. Good. Can buy some stuff with that.
Rot reingeladen.
Ooh. That might be... What would that be? Mr. Newman? Can you not hear that? That's interesting. Unless it's a graphical glitch from the smoke that disappeared and started again, that moved over there. I've seen that happen as well before. There, the particle source moved over there, the emitter, for for a moment, and then those particles went up on that coordinate, and it's disappeared now as they age. There's the pontoons. That's nice. They don't have far to go. Close to home. It's winter where I am. I'm in the southern hemisphere at the moment, right? And I must say this looks kind of cozy. Anyway, right, okay, so pontoon, wreckage, nothing else detected. You can go to bed, sir. Now we have to get out of there. Do I get down and out? Or do I go back around and out? There's way less risk of aircraft around here than there would be down here or through the middle. But I don't have a lot of food left. I don't... Ooh! I've got almost no food left. Yeah, I'm going down the middle. And perhaps while I'm... Wow, looks pretty good. I'm disappointed that there are no actual port defenses coming out here. The point of the mission was to distract them so that the spy could get access. But yeah, there's nothing here. They have this free zooming camera. It's very sensitive on the mouse, but the port of Belfast is here. Well, that's where the marker is, but nothing is rendered here. That's interesting. Ooh. Looks pretty legit. So yeah, I guess that's it. I'm not gonna record another marathon video of 3 hours. Perhaps we can just okay, ventilation, silent running. Interesting, the ventilation is only making 3 now. Okay, so it doesn't last forever, or it can't replenish air forever. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to. Okay.
Herr Kaloi.
Ugh, sorry.
Herr Kaloi.
Turn it off and then just takes a wash a bit. Maybe it'll charge the battery as well. Sometimes when you're lucky and you go Dexa wash, it actually they switch over to diesel. Sometimes. It's not often. Turn on the pump here.
Herr Kaloi.
The bilges are full. You can see them. See the water there. That water is not the same as the ballast tank water down there, and on the sides here and here. Those are the ballast tanks. This water is the bilges. So you get water that leaks in through the propeller shafts and places like that, and that all gathers. The submarine has piping inside it to direct all that water to what they call the bilges. Every ship has a bilge pump. Every boat, even the yachts that you see at the marina, they all have bilge pumps. For that exact reason. So perhaps the ballast is affected, but it doesn't seem to want to go up. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to. Okay, well, yeah. So the game is a bit inconsistent. So when you're in travel mode in the open sea and you surface, the battery recharges instantly because 10 minutes elapses in the space of about 20 seconds. But the air, because you've used the compressed air to pump the water out of the ballast tanks, the air only replenishes after about half a day. So let's see how long it takes when I surface now and I switch on the compressors. So there's 2 compressors, and you can cue them, turn them both on, it goes a bit quicker. See, the air's going down, it's pumping this water out. Right, so the battery is charging, air is full. You see the water level is very low now, but my compressed air is down to, it's going to go down to about 50%, 55%, maybe 65, depends. Right, so now the compressors are on. So in the time this counts back up to 100 in travel mode, this would go from 2050 to about 2250 or maybe even midnight. So you're traveling the length of England to compress a tank of air. But in normal mode, in real-time mode, this will take about 10 minutes. So it is a bit inconsistent, so it's really dumb to surface. Oh, look at this, the particles moved again. It's over the countryside now, by the looks of it. Yeah, look. It's over the countryside. So it just, for some reason the emitter jerks around and then it spawns a couple of clouds of smoke here on this side, and then it moves back to where the freighter is. But you have these particles moving up into the air there. Anyway, I can't remember what I was talking about. Yeah, so this is gonna complete in. So yeah, so when you're in travel mode, and your time is accelerated, you don't want to surface because it will take you half the day to fill the tanks. Whereas in normal mode it is fine because it recharges in about 10 minutes, or refills, but the battery takes a very long time to recharge. Well, it says 4 minutes and 1 second, but in reality it doesn't take that short amount of time. It takes much longer. Batteries recharge slow, as you know. You plug in your phone, it's an hour before it's fully recharged, and that's a small one, right? These ships had banks and banks of batteries back here on top of the electric motor. Wow, that's loud. You can barely hear me speak. Can you imagine how loud it must have been for real inside these, next to these two six-cylinder diesel engines? It must have been phenomenal. The hearing of those men must have been permanently affected. Okay, so I need to get out of here now, right? So
Jawohl.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Jawohl.
let's do that.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Straight down the middle.
Zu Befehl.
This is a tricky part.
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloi.
So close to the Saint-Eval Air Force Base there. Right, so I've been to Portsmouth. This harbor is rendered. They've got a nice dock and everything. And you have to turn around quite sharply in order to align yourself so that you can actually shoot a torpedo at something inside the harbor. But there's no harbor here that I could see. Okay, we're above the water, right? You don't have to be on the hydrophones. You can go to bed. Okay, let's you see, so I'm accelerating time. The battery's green line is slowly moving, but I mean, it said 4 minutes, right? It's been half an hour. So this count isn't accurate, but the air is compressed. Hopefully someone's turned off the compressors. Yeah, alright. They do possess some intelligence, these non-player characters. It's not very deep, but I probably have to go under. The aircraft's gonna start coming soon, before I go to travel mode. Well, I suppose it'll be a while because I'll be next to the shoreline. So you only unlock the top two speeds of the engine when you have either the mechanic or the chief engineer on it with assigned crew members. You can see here when add sailor added sailor will unlock the next gear, and then you also get a fuel efficiency bonus there. But he isn't here yet, he hasn't arrived. Oh no, sorry, there he is. And it takes a while, so when you exchange the two, this one was tired, so I sent him to bed, and then the other one takes a while to arrive. Then you always have to remember to switch it back up to the fast gear. They don't do a handover. The one guy just walks away, and then you lose the you lose the unlocked gear. Okay, let's accelerate time now, quick. Okay. Whoa. That's not what I wanted to do. So now I do want to dive. Because the aircraft is going to start coming now. See, now he went to open the valve so the water can come in, but he was on the engine. So now the engine's locked off again. And only when he returns can I actually speed up again. Right, anyway, so I'm gonna dive. I should make the bottom of at least this first leg here on a set of batteries, on a battery charge. No, we'll see. But I'm not gonna oh! Are we still on diesel engines? I thought we went under. Oh, we're Dexa wash, sorry. You see, yeah, so Dexa wash, in rough seas, it switches to diesel sometimes because the water goes up and down and opens the, or doesn't cover the air intakes and whatnot. I've seen interviews of submariners where the one guy, at least I remember or I recall, explained how it was really uncomfortable for them when they went Dexa wash, and they would be sitting around breathing, and then a wave would come over and spill over the air intakes for the diesel engine, and then the diesel would suck the air out of the submarine's interior to, in order to combust, and they would all go for that brief moment that the wave is over the air intakes. Right. So that's sorted. Too much work from officers. It's ridiculous. There's like 2 on the engines and 2 on the charts, and this guy's gonna go to bed anyway. I'll put you on the charts. How's about that?
Jawohl. Jawohl.
Okay. Well, that's it. This one was pretty boring. Very routine. But I guess I had the opportunity to explain a bit more, and perhaps you got a much better idea of the I don't know, the facilities within this submarine, within this game, and what it's about, instead of the sometimes it's a bit monotonous and relaxing and chill. I like to watch the ocean, and I'm that kind of guy. All right. Well, that's it. Thank you. Goodbye.